the Celtics are minus 225 favorites to win the NBA title at ESPN Bet. Favorites have won in 8 of the last 11 NBA finals, with the only exceptions coming in 2021. That was when the Bucks, remember, knocked off the Suns. The Mavericks entered the season with 25-1 odds to win the title. I just need to give, do we have Tim Legler here? Tim, I need to give you some props for a moment. Yeah. Because I remember asking you, I'm talking months and months ago, early on when the season first started in the fall, who was going to the finals? Because I have to ask those questions like day one of the season. And you said Dallas. So you've been on this train all along, and here we are. You just saw the odds, so props to you on that. Tell me this, who do you think is going to be the X factor in these finals, Tim?
You know, this is a tough question because there are so many places you could go with this. When you look at Boston, you got Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Derek White, all of those guys. Dallas has Derek Jones, P.J. Washington, who are going to guard Tatum and Brown primarily. But my answer is the two-headed center for the Dallas Mavericks. And I don't think you can separate the two guys and say one of these guys is a bigger X factor than the other, because they play combined about 35 to 40 minutes a game. Every now and then you go a little bit smaller, maybe Kleber gets some minutes. But this is about Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford and what these two guys represent for Dallas, not only throughout the playoffs to this point, because they're averaging 18 points, 13 boards, 3 blocks, 64% from the field. Those are phenomenal numbers out of your center spot. But in this series in particular, Molly, they're especially important because of the number of situations they are going to be put in with isolation and ball screens with these perimeter players of Boston getting into the paint, attacking the rim. As the last line of defense, they've got to be rim deterrents. They've got to alter shots. They've got to be very active in being able to not only stop the guard on the ball screen or the forward, but also retreat and recover and get back there and alter the game defensively at the rim. But on the other end of the floor, their ability to occupy Boston defensively and the way that they make teams pay when Luka hits them with those late lobs, when you've committed to him, they punish teams at the rim for being in an area, in a gray area defensively against Luka Doncic. Luka will make them pay, and then the offensive rebounding component that these guys bring to the table as well. That's why I think the two centers for Dallas are going to have an awful lot to say about who wins this series.
Tim Legler.
Tim Legler, I get where you're coming from, my brother. I understand it. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Shay. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I wanted to go because that's exactly who I had. But Ash told me I had to pick one. I couldn't pick both of those guys because when I came, I said it's the two bigs from Dallas because of exactly what Leg said. But I went with Derek Lively because if you look at it, and I would have went with two bigs, but I had, and Ash told me I had to pick one. The Mavericks are very lively when Lively is playing. He's very bouncy. You're right, Legs. Those lobs, he defends the rim. He went perfect from the floor in this series. He was 16 of 16 in 5 games against Minnesota. He's very bouncy. He challenges things. And as long as he's on the court, look at his plus minus when he's in the game as opposed to when he's not. He's a very, very important piece. He needs to play big, but you're absolutely right, Legs. Those two bigs, because they're very high percentage guys, most of their shots are putbacks, dunks, lobs, but they do a great job of protecting the paint, which is going to be because Boston's going to put you in a lot of action, a lot of pick and roll, try to get downhill, and they're going to have to protect. So I agree with you. I picked Derek Lively, but I had both of those bigs, but Ash told me I needed to pick one.
You make valid points. I'm not trying to poo-poo any of them. What I would tell you is this. The name I come up with, Legs, I see you looking at me, is P.J. Washington, my brother. Now, I understand that in the conference finals against Minnesota, he averaged, I'm looking at his numbers here, he shot 37% from the field, 25% from three-point range. I get it. Remember how he looked in the semifinals against OKC? The brother averaged 17, okay? He shot OKC. He shot 47.6% from the field, 47% from three-point range. If P.J. Washington hits threes, Dallas is winning the championship. Dallas is about to win the championship. If he's hitting those threes, because you got to remember, and you got to remember this, and Tim Legler, you know this better than both myself and Shannon. being the guy that played and covered this sport for so many decades. Jason Kidd has proven to be a special, special coach. But one of the things that he does, Shay, is that he starts his offense damn near 10 feet behind the three-point line. Because he got cats like Luka and Kyrie who can pull up from the logo. But more importantly, they have the ability where you know they could dance on you one-on-one and abuse you. So what they do is, correct me if I'm wrong, Legs, is force you to come out and defend them further away from the basket to give them more room to operate. As a result, because of their three-point marksmanship, the defense has to extend to guard them. When you extend to guard them, you open the floor more. When you open the floor more, somebody's open. Because you got Kyrie, you know, the greatest small guard. I mean, when you consider his talent, his ability to finish at the basket, his big hands, his ball handling ability, his shot making ability, inside or out. And then you take into account Luka, who's 6'7", 250, and is one of the strongest point guards in the game. You take those two elements into consideration, plus the clutch gene that both of them have. You got to extend. And when you do that, somebody's going to be open. And when somebody is open, it's usually been P.J. Washington from one of the corners. Him or Derrick Jones.
Lobs
Just
too.
like y'all can pick the two centers, I can pick him and Derrick Jones. And if they're hitting threes, specifically P.J. Washington, there's nothing Boston can do. There's nothing they can do. If P.J. Washington hits threes, Dallas Mavericks going to win the championship.
All I want to know is this, gentlemen. We got 60 seconds to the bump. Could I possibly see a Game 7? Like, what are we thinking here, Tim?
Possibly.
Absolutely, you could see a Game 7. You could.
I love Game 7.
I personally think we are going to get a lot of fourth quarter drama in this series over the first 4 or 5 games. That'll set up whether we get a longer series or not. I cannot wait. I actually think this is going to be epic in terms of entertainment value, what we're about to see.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, I think we're going to get at least. I think we're going to get at least 6 games.
At least 6? What's up, S.A.?
Shannon, Legs, Molly, I have a slight dilemma because you know life is, you know, when you're in the sunshine and the temps, life is about you sometimes. And here's the element. I got a decision to make, Shannon. I got a decision to make, Legs and Molly. The LA Press Club has blessed me with the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Seriously?
It's
That's
the same
amazing,
night.
Stephen A.
Yes, it is.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. It's the same night. It's the same night as a Game 7.
Oh
So
my
if there's
goodness.
a Game
Lifetime.
7,
Stephen A., you
if
got
there's
to
a
go
Game
Game
that's a
7.
lifetime.
So you don't want
That's
7.
a
Okay.
Stephen A.,
lifetime
you
of
got to go
devotion.
Game 7. Game 7.
No, Stephen A.
Zoom.
Stephen
Zoom
A.
it.
I can't miss a Game 7.
Hey,
Mr.
I
Stephen
work
A.
with Shannon.
That's
I
a
have a great
lifetime of
idea.
I'm gonna give a
devotion.
speech.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
a lifetime of
Stephen A.,
commitment.
I'll solve all your problems. You go to your Lifetime Award, and then I'll just take your credential to the Game 7, and I'll go to the Game 7 so that doesn't get wasted.
They know. We've already talked about it. They're flexible to the Game 7. They're flexible to the Game 7. They understand Game 7 is Game 7. Okay, I can't miss that.
Okay.
I'm an NBA
Congrats
countdown.
on the
Remember that show?
Lifetime Achievement Award.
I
That's
can't miss
amazing.
that.
It's
You know what I'm
amazing.
saying? I'm
Yeah,
gonna give
but
my
I-
speech no matter what. It's just a matter of whether it's
Lifetime
gonna be virtual
achievement.
or
I
in
like the
person.
sound of that, man. But you got a lot more. You got a lot more living to do. A lot more to do.
Exactly. But also, Stephen A., let's
Yeah.
not gloss over that I need the credential for Game 7.